Hello gamers and welcome to the first early development video for Dicey Bizniz. I'm Surrogate of Sorrow, the solo indie game developer behind this game and Zerkwitz. Dicey Bizniz is a deck builder roguelike but with dice instead of cards. It has all the features you can expect from games of this kind. A rich set of polyhedral dice, relics, spells, and even a meta progression system to carry your power-ups from one game to the next for endless replayability. Development is not complete yet, so some parts of the game are still missing, like relics, spells, and bosses in the codex. Icons and sprites may change in the final release, but all in all, it's already playable and enjoyable. Let's start a game in easy mode and without any power-ups and see how it goes. For this run, we'll enable the heads-up display, or HUD, but we won't need the tutorial overlay. So, let's play! The first few antes are supposed to be easy, and we're already lucky. Bookends and a pair. The HUD shows a full breakdown of how the score is calculated, so it's a strategy aid and a learning tool. Let's submit and win our first ante. Oh no, already an event, and it's not a good one. Let's try and fix the die ourselves. Hopefully we won't lose one so early in the game. Success! Luckily, our courage has been rewarded. Between antes, we get to visit the shop where we can spend the coins and gems we earned. Relics have effects that last all game long, but we only get to buy one relic per shop visit, so we better check out their tooltips thoroughly and buy strategically. We can also buy dice and spells, and it's very important to manage our resources. So for now, let's hold off on the dice. And let's buy a couple of spells that we may need later on. Spells are consumable power-ups that disappear after use. And by saving on the dice, we can afford expanding our hand size from 5 to 7, which is very important early on in the game. So, back to the game to play the second ante. And we can already see the effects of our relic at work. The first and last dice now have a value multiplier. The subtle green halo around those dice is also an indicator that an effect is acting on them. Once again, we've been really lucky. We can already submit and win the ante. And this is a proper lucky run. It's only our second shop visit and we're already presented with a rare relic. Let's get it right away. Buying the rare relic left us with no coins to buy dice this time, but we still have enough gems to buy a couple more spells. Nothing else we can do here at the moment, so let's go back to the game and play the third ante. The effects of our powerful relics are enough to win us the third ante on just one submission. Pretty cool, huh? But prices increase at each shop visit and we haven't saved enough to buy the best relic this time. Now you're beginning to see why this game requires strategic thinking. So we buy another relic, and once again we don't have enough to buy more powerful dice. I'm getting a bit worried. Let's save the little resources we have left and go back to play the fourth ante. Our relics have carried us thus far, and they still would be enough for us to win this ante with no effort. But we want to win with a larger margin, to earn more resources to spend in our next shop visit. So let's take a gamble and re-roll. Perfect! Now we're below the target, so we can use one of our submissions to earn coins without winning the ante. We will win it on our second submission with a bigger margin. Now, thanks to our little gamble, we have a higher budget for this shop visit. We can afford to buy an uncommon relic and a more powerful die. But none of the dice shown here are what we want, so let's re-roll the dice shelf. Okay, now there's an interesting one for us to purchase. A die that rolls on a high face way more often. So now we have 9 dice, but the maximum number of dice in a hand is 8. So let's sell one die to make sure our newly acquired uncommon one is in play during the next ante. And since we have some extra budget, let's also buy a few more spells that we might need later in the game. Now, thanks to the power of editing, let's speed through the next few antes where everything smoothly ramps up by playing similar strategies. Let's pick this up again later in the game when spells come into play. And here we go! Around ante 8, in spite of how incredibly lucky we've been thus far, we get to the point where just rolling the dice, even with their relic effects, will not be enough. Time to start thinking tactically and cast some useful spells. The HUD can help us understand what's really going on, thus allowing us to choose which spells to play to modify the dice faces and achieve better combos. Rerolled a 5, got a 3, achieved a better combo. Yay! Still not enough, but we can confidently submit it, knowing that the next submission will win us the ante. So let's speed things up again and roll forward to the last ante, ante 11. Here you can see something interesting. Even though the hand limit is 8 dice, we have 9 dice in play. That's because there are ways, via relics or special dice effects, to have 1 or 2 additional dice in your hand. Rolling a 5 or a 6 on an explosive d6 grants you an additional temporary basic d6. Submit and re-roll, and if you're lucky, you can play with up to 10 dice. Now analyze your hand, maybe with some help from the HUD. Understand how you can improve your score. Then play the appropriate spells that you have strategically purchased earlier in the game. Maximize your score to meet or exceed the target and win the game. Luck was once again on our side. This last submission granted us a good reroll, so our next submission will win us the whole run. Well, that was fun, but it wasn't easy. Let's visit the Dragon Sanctum to buy permanent upgrades that will carry over to all our future runs. Each time we play, win or lose, we earn Dragon Tears, a currency we can spend here to buy these meta upgrades. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more Dicey Bizniz game mechanics videos.